All right. Shalom, Israel. It's your boy D-Ro, the Truth Teller, with Aquila and Priscilla Ministries. Coming at you again, man, with another lesson. Uh, Title of today's lesson is I Kill and I Make Alive, Man of War. Now, this isn't a part. This isn't a part of the Spirit versus Flesh series. This is just a lesson that came about. Actually, came about. Me, my mom, and I think it was my dad was watching a movie a few months back. I think it was that movie King Richard about Venus and Serena's dad. Well, anyway, it was the part where the man where King Richard got jumped and beat up in the park real bad, and he went to go kill the dude that jumped him, right? But right before he did it, a car drove by and killed him, right? And the comment was made that Satan had done that. You know, Satan is running wild, right? Uh, so this is what I wanted to address today. That our God controls everything, right? If the order has been sent out for you to die, whether it be a drive-by, fatal death, or natural causes, right? It was the Most High that gave the order, right? Thus the title of the lesson, I kill and I make alive, man of war, right? And I think the reason why we tend to think that our God is just this passive aggressive being and not this dominant alpha figure, we pass him off to be a beta, right? This is why when we see things like this, tragic murders or deaths or catastrophes, we tend to think that he's not a part of this, right? We tend to think that he has nothing to do with this because of how we've been taught our God is, right? Well, per the scriptures, we're going to show. Per the scriptures, the Holy Spirit is going to show that our God not only kills, but in fact, he makes alive, right? Our God is a man of war, right? So if he's a man of war, killing has to be involved. What warrior do you know, right, that hasn't killed anyone, right? So we just gonna get to set the record straight, man, to show that our God kills and he makes alive. He is a man of war. Right? Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I want to thank him for allowing me to be a vessel to do his work. I pray that he also gives strength to the rest of the servants that are handling his word, that's trying to preach his word, teach his word to the people. I pray strength and peace to you as well, right? So let's get started. I kill and I make alive, man of war. All right, the first place we're going to go to is Exodus. First place we're going to go to is Exodus, and we're going to do Exodus chapter 15. We're going to do Exodus chapter 15, and we're going to do 1 through 7, all right? So we at Exodus chapter 15, and we're going to do 1 through 7. And it reads, Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed glorious. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. See that? The Lord is a man of war. The Most High is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. So see, he killed Pharaoh and his men. See that? This is what Moses and the Israelites are singing this song of praise because they just witnessed their God kill their enemies, right? Verse 5, Exodus chapter 15, and we have verse 5. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. See that? So again, Moses and the Israelites are praising the Most High for killing and destroying their enemies, right? And I know another thing that probably confuses folks when we go to Exodus 20 and we read the commandments and we get to the commandment where it says, "Thou shalt not kill," right? So we think, oh, wait a minute, thou shalt not kill, but we got a God that kills and makes alive. Is this a contradiction? No, that's a mistranslation, right? Thou shalt not murder, right? Is the proper commandment, right? Because we can go in Ecclesiastes and show you that we're not going to go there today, but it's a time to kill and it's a time for war and it's a time for peace, right? It's a time to love, it's a time to hate. See what I'm saying? So it's a time and a place for everything, right? The only thing that it's not a time and a place for is sin, right? And murder is sin. You see what I'm saying? Killing without a cause, right? Murder. Waking up and plotting on taking someone's life. That's murder, that's sin, right? There's no time and no place for murder, right? All right, so let's keep it moving. We had Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 42. Isaiah chapter 42. And this is, I kill and I make alive, man of war, right? The God that we serve, he does kill, he makes alive, right? He does it all, man. So let's look at this, Isaiah 42. He does it all, people. Isaiah 42. And we're going to read what we read. I'm going to start at verse 13. And then I'm going to skip 22 through 25. All right, Isaiah chapter 42. We're going to start at verse 13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. All right, we had Isaiah chapter 42. That was 13. We're going to skip to 22, and we're going to read 22 through 25. This is Isaiah chapter 42, 22 through 25. All right? But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivered. For a spoil, and none saith restore. Okay, he's talking about the children of Israel. Okay, for the disobedience of the children of Israel, this is what's become of them. But check and dig what he tells, right? Verse 23, Isaiah chapter 42, verse 23. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord? He against whom we have sinned. For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore, he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about. Yet he knew it not. And it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. You see that? It said, let's go back to verse 23 real quick. He said, who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? He said, who is going to hear and who is going to understand that he gave Jacob for the spoil, right? That he gave Jacob to the robbers. You see what I'm saying? That he set a fire round about Jacob, setting him on fire, right? But we think it's the devil. We think it's the white man. You see what I'm saying? Let's look at this. Let's go to Joel. Let's go to Joel chapter 2. Think about that. Joel chapter 2. And people, I beg you to get your Bibles. Don't just listen to me, right? Because I'm a babe in this, man. I'm just a humble pile of dirt that has just now came into the knowledge of these scriptures. You see what I'm saying? So you get your book and you read alone. Not only read alone, but on your own time, go over these scriptures yourself and study for yourself. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way that you're going to get or build a one-on-one relationship with the Father. See, you just watching these videos, you just building a relationship with Aquila and Priscilla Ministries, right? You have to get in this book yourself and read on your own time to build a relationship with the Father. You see what I'm saying? Through his Son. You see? That's how that works. All right, let's go. Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2, and we're going to read verse 11. Joel chapter 2, verse 11, and it reads, "And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executed his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide in it?" You see that? It said, "And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army." You see that? So we dealing with a God that has an army, right? What army do you know that don't kill? All right, let's go to Joshua. Because, right, we just said that he got an army. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Joshua. Let's go to Joshua real quick. And we're going to read Joshua chapter 5. Joshua chapter 5, and we're going to read verses 13 through 15. Because we just read that the Most High got an army, right? He's going to speak to his army, right? So check out this Joshua chapter 5, right? And we're going to read verse 13 through 15. "And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with the sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us or for our adversaries? And he said, the man that he saw, and he said, Nay, but as captain of the hosts of the Lord, I am now come." So we see that the Most High has an army. Now it looks like we're dealing with his captain right here, right? And this is how you gonna know that you dealing with the Godhead, right? Listen. "And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord, I am now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant?" Now again, if this wasn't part of the Godhead, he'd have told Joshua, "Get up, I'm your fellow servant. Don't worship me, worship God." You see what I'm saying? We read that all through the scriptures, where a man try to worship an angel and he check him, right? But check out what this man does, okay? "And the captain of the Lord of hosts said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoes from thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so." See, this is how you know you're dealing with the Godhead. Anytime they tell you to loose your shoes from off your feet, you stand on holy ground, you know you're dealing with the Godhead. You see what I'm saying? He does kill and he make alive, people. Check it out. Let's go to Revelations. Revelations, I'm just showing you that you're dealing with a man of war. You're dealing with a warrior. You see what I'm saying? So, what warrior, again, do you know that doesn't have a few bodies on his belt? You see what I'm saying? Revelations 19. Revelations 19. And we're going to read I'm just going to read verse 11. Revelations 19, verse 11, and it reads, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war." You see that? In righteousness do he judge, and he also makes war with the wicked. You see what I'm saying? Let's look at this. All right? We just established that the guy we dealing with is a warrior, right? And again, I asked the question, what warrior do you know that don't have a few bodies under his belt. See what I'm saying? All right, now let's look at some scriptures that shows you that our God kills. See what I'm saying? I know we just read, right? But we gonna read a little bit more, right? To show you that this God kills. Okay? Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. All right, and this is a very good chapter. I would admonish or advise that you would read this whole Deuteronomy 32. But just for time's sake, you know, we gonna read, we gonna do some skipping. All right. So we gonna start at verse 1. I'm gonna read 1 through 2, and then I'm gonna do some skipping. All right. So we have Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 1 through 2, and it reads, "Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as rain. My speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass." Okay, so this is the Most High prophesying through the prophet Moses, right, about how his doctrine is going to bring life and prosperity. His doctrine. See what I'm saying? Let's continue. Let's skip down. Again, we're at Deuteronomy chapter 32. Let's skip down to verse 8, and we're going to read 8 through 10. "When the Most High divided the nations, their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel." It's very, very important. Now, I'm coming here for a reason. You see what I'm saying? To first show the importance of Israel, right, to the Most High, right? And not only the importance, right, how important these people Israel is to him, but what he does to them, right, when they disobey him, right? We have verse 9. Deuteronomy 32, verse 9. "For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wizard. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye." Okay, so we just read that Israel is the apple of God's eye, right? His whole mind, his whole thought process is on Israel. You see what I'm saying? I know that's hard for a lot of people to accept, right? But we reading, like my elders say, straight book. All right. The Jacob, the house of Israel, is the apple of God's eye. His whole thought process revolves around Israel. Okay. Let's skip down to verse 14. So we had Deuteronomy 32, and we had verse 14, and we're going to read 14 and 15. All right. "Butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats, with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape." Now he's talking about how he blessed Israel. Remember, Israel's the apple of God's eye. Now he's talking about how he blessed them, right? Even with the blood of the grape. We know that's wine. So he had them drinking the best of the wine. You see what I'm saying? All right, verse 15, Deuteronomy 32 and 15. "But Jeshurun waxed fat." Jeshurun, another name for Israel. "Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God, which made him." Don't that sound familiar? We do that today. We harp on how God has blessed us, you know, hitting the lottery. We harping on how God has blessed us with this new house. We harping on how God has blessed us with this new car, with this good job, right? But we forsake him. We don't do what he tells us to do, right? We just say, "Oh, he's blessed us, thank you," but we don't do it. We forsake him. You see what I'm saying? This is what our forefathers has done, right? And he's telling us this, right? Verse 15. "But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. That he forsook God which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Lightly esteem the rock of his salvation. You see what I'm saying? He said, lightly esteem the rock. Let's keep it moving though. Let's go to verse 14. I'm sorry, verse 18. Skip to verse 18. Deuteronomy 32, verse 18. Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten God that formed thee. He's reiterating again. After everything I've done for you, you done forgot me. Right? And that's the reason why I'm going here. Follow me now. Go to verse 20, Deuteronomy 32, verse 20. And he said, I will hide my face from them, and I will see that their end shall, and I will see what their end shall be. See that? When I hide my face from them, when I no longer support you, see what I'm saying? This is God talking to his people. I'm going to see what their end going to be. Right? When I hide my face from them, I'm going to see what happened to them. Middle of 20. For they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith. Forward generation. Fraud. Fake. You see what I'm saying? What do you mean? What does he mean fake? Fraud. Forward. Because we're called the children of Israel, but we acting like the children of the Japanese. Right? Don't we do Buddha? You see, we acting like the children of Islam. You see? That's what makes us fraud. Forward. See? We are called by his name, Israel, but we act like Russians. We act like Greeks. It's fake. Deuteronomy 32, skip to 22, and we're going to read 22 through 26. Listen to what he say now. To his people, to the people that's the apple of his eye, that his whole mind, thought process is on, right? Look at what he say. For a fire is kindled. Verse 22, I'm sorry. Deuteronomy, still at Deuteronomy 32. Right, we at verse 22 now. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischief upon them. I will spin mine arrows upon them. Excuse me. They shall be burnt with hunger, and devoured with burning heat, and with bitter destruction. See what he's going to do to his people, man? See that? I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with poison of the serpents of dust. The sword without and terror within shall destroy both. Look at this now. This is verse 25. Deuteronomy 32, 25. The sword without and terror within shall destroy both young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hairs. See that? So he's talking about he gonna kill both man and woman, right? Young and old. Verse 26. I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Did not see that? This is sweet baby Jesus we talking about here. Now, if you don't understand that Jesus the Christ, right, that's walking and prophesying in the New Testament, is this same one we dealing with right here, then that's something that you're going to have to get an understanding of. We're not going to go through that right now. We're showing you that this God of this Bible kills and makes alive, right? And the God of this Bible is the same God from Genesis to Malachi and from Matthew to Revelation. Same God, man. Right? Again, if you can't understand that, you might have to go look at some other lessons to prove that proves this out. But right now, this ain't the lesson for that. We just showing you that the God of this Bible kills and makes alive. Right? Let's go. Was that verse 20? Okay, let's skip down to verse 39. We're still in Deuteronomy 32. Skipping down to 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See that? Neither is any that can deliver out of his hand. See that? Because he kills and he makes alive. He heals and he sickens. You see? This is who we dealing with, man. Let's go to Exodus. Let's go to Exodus chapter 22. Well, Paul say, I will not have you ignorant to this thing, my brethren. I will not have you ignorant to this thing of knowing that our God does kill and makes alive, people. Straight up. All right, let's look at Exodus chapter 22. Now we're going to look at some laws, okay? We're going to look at some laws and what the Most High says about some particular laws, okay? So we have Exodus 22, and we're going to do verse 1, and we're going to do some skipping. Exodus 22, verse 1, and it reads, if a man shall steal an ox or sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Okay, so that's the law. All right. If I come steal your ox, right, and kill it, right, I owe you I owe you 5 oxen for an ox, right? So if I steal one of your ox and kill it, then I owe you 5 of them. If I steal 2 of your oxen and kill them, I owe you 10, right? Same way with the sheep. If I steal one of your sheep and kill it, if I steal 1, I owe you 4. If I steal 2, I owe you 8. This is the law, okay, for stealing sheep or stealing livestock, okay? We're still in Exodus 22. Let's skip down to verse 5, and we're going to read verses 5 through 6. Exodus 22, verses 5 through 6. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the beast of his own field, and of the beast of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. Okay, so if I take my beast and go feed in your vineyard, and he eat up your vineyard, I got to pay for that. That's the law. All right? Verse 6, Exodus 22, verse 6. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. Okay, this is the law of arson, right? If I accidentally, well, probably not arson, this may be probably accident, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, if fire breaks out, if I cause a fire on your livestock or your corn or whatever, you know, I have to restore it. You see, this is the law, okay? Now, look at what the Most High says about the law against afflicting fatherless children and widows, okay? We still at Exodus 22. Now we're going to read 22 through 24, okay? This is the law for afflicting widows and fatherless children, all right? Exodus 22 through 24. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry out at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword. Read that again, verse 24. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children shall be fathers. See, right off his lips, off the prophet Moses' lips, though. But the Most High, hey, I will kill you with the sword if you afflict any widows or fatherless children. Let's look at this some more, man. Let's go to Job. Let's go to Job chapter 9. Now, I know we all know the story of how Satan went and hollered at the Most High and got permission. We know that. But check out what Job say, though. This is another instance with Job. And Job is just prophesying about the Most High. And look at what he says, right? Let's go to Job chapter 9. We're going to go to Job chapter 9. And we're going to read 1 through 10. Yeah, Job chapter 9, 1 through 10. And then we're going to do 17 through 22. All right? Job chapter 9, verses 1 through 10. All right? Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? If he will contend with him, he cannot answer him one of 1,000. He's showing you the power and the wisdom of God, right? Even if we contend with him, we can't answer any of his questions. He can ask us, we could try 1,000 times, man. We cannot answer any of his questions. That's what Job is telling us, the wisdom that our Father, the Godhead, has. All right? We at Job chapter 9, verses 4. He is wise in heart. See that? He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who hath hardened himself against him and hath prospered? Which removeth the mountains, and they know not. Which overturneth them in his anger. Which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble. Which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars. Again, he's just giving the glory to the Most High, showing you his power, right? Prophesying his power, basically. All right. Job 9, verses 8. Which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea. Which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Star constellations, right? He houses the winds of the south. Again, showing you the power and the might of this God. All right, verse 10. Which doeth great things past finding out, yea, and wonders without number. You see that? Doing great things past finding out. See, he does things that we can't even understand, right? And from the lack of teaching, you see, we understand even less. You see what I'm saying? So Job chapter 9, let's skip down to verse 17. Job 9 and 17. Let's read. For he breaketh me with a tempest, and multiplieth my wounds without cause. Did we just read he healed? Right? He makes sick and he healed. Did we just read that? All right. And multiplieth my wounds without cause. Verse 18. He will not suffer me to take my breath, but fulfilleth me with bitterness. Right there, Paul is speaking on what he's going through. Right? He said he won't suffer me to take my breath, but he filleth me with bitterness. Remember, he told Satan, you can touch his flesh now, you just can't kill him. You see? So Paul is prophesying the power of this God that we're dealing with. All right? We at Job 9, verses 19. If I speak of strength, lo, he is strong. And if of judgment, who shall set mine at a time to plead? If I justify myself, my own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. Though I were perfect, yet I know not my soul. I would have despised my life. Now, this is what I was honing in on, right? I just wanted to give you the context of what Job was talking about. But I wanted to hone in on this verse 22, Job chapter 9, 22. This is one thing. Therefore, I said it. He destroys the perfect and the wicked, man. You see that? He destroys the perfect and the wicked. See? Solomon talks about this too. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. He does it all, people. There's nothing under this sun that goes on, right, that he isn't aware of, that he hasn't gave the okay for. See what I'm saying? Ecclesiastes. So, if think about it, if and those with siblings will relate to this even more. All right, say my sister come and tell me, hey D-Ro, mama said take out the trash. Right? Now, the order is not coming from my sister, it's coming from my mama, but it's coming off my sister's lips. Right? She say, D-Ro, mama say take out the trash. Now, do I kick against that because the message came from, my sister? Nah. Do I disregard it, or do I think of it less because it came? My sister was the messenger. Nah. The message, the order came from the parent, right? Like the order came from the Most High to kill, right? Yeah, he have his servants to do his bidding, but the order came from him. So in all actuality, he did it. Because if he didn't say okay, it wouldn't have been done. See? Solomon talks about this. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, and we're going to do 2 through 3. He does it all, whether it be to the wicked or to the righteous. He kills and he makes alive. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 9, we're going to do 2 through 3. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 2 through 3. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean, to the unclean, to him that sacrificeth, and to him that sacrificeth not. See that? No matter who you are, no matter what type of walk of life you are, right? Nothing happens to you unless the Most High says so. Where I'm at. Middle of verse 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, middle of verse 2. As is the good, so is the sinner. And he that sweareth, as he that feareth an oath. This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event even to all. Yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their hearts while they live. And after, they go to the dead. See that? It's one event for all. We all die, right? We all are going to die, whether it be natural causes or whether it be tragically. And he gives that order. He gives that call. See? Let's look at this. All right. He also makes alive. All right. Let's look at this. Let's go to Proverbs. Because we just shown you the multiple scripts where he kills. All right. Now let's look at how he makes alive. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 7. If I can get there. Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 2. Proverbs chapter 7, verse 2. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my commandments and live. And my law as the apple of thine eye. See that? Just as Israel is the apple of God's eye, or the thought process, his whole mind or thought, his whole day revolves around Israel, right? Your whole day, your whole thought process should revolve around his commandments. That's how you're going to live. See that? Read it again. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Proverbs chapter 7, verse 2. That's how you're going to live. That's how he makes alive, right? Let's look at this some more. Flip over to Proverbs 19. Proverbs 19, and we're going to do verse 16. Proverbs 19, verse 16, and it reads, He that keepeth the commandments keepeth his own soul, but he that despises his ways shall die. See that? Again, he that keepeth commandments keepeth his own soul, or lives, right? But he that despises his ways shall die. See that? Keep the commandments, live. Don't keep the commandments, die. This is how he makes you alive, by walking in him, right? By being connected to the vine, right? This is what keeps you alive. Genesis 18. And mind you, we're not talking about the physical death. We're talking about everlasting life here. Understand before you misunderstand. We're talking about everlasting life here, right? Yes, he can kill you, right? But he can also give you everlasting life. That's what we're talking about here, just in case we got confused or, you know. All right, let's go. Genesis 18. Because our God kills and he makes alive, man. Our God kills and he makes alive. All right? So let's go. Genesis 18, we're going to do 1 through 3, and we're going to do some skipping. 1 through 3, and we're going to do some skipping. Matter of fact, I'm just going to read 1 through 14. I'm just going to read this whole little story right quick. All right, we at Genesis 18. We're going to read 1 through 14, and it reads, And the Lord appeared unto him, we're talking about Abraham, in the plains of Miramar. And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground. Verse 3. And he said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort your hearts. After that ye shall pass on. For therefore you are come to your servant. And they said, Do so, as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened unto the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the earth. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto the young man. And he hastened to dress it. Verse 8. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. Genesis 18, verse 9. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of surety be of child, which I am old? Verse 14. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. He said, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Okay, let's look at this. Let's go to Genesis 21. Let's go to Genesis 21, and we're going to read 21 through, Genesis 21, we're going to read 1 through 3. And the Lord visited Sarah, as he had said. And the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God has spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. Okay, so we just read all these verses, right, where the Most High kills, right? We also read now, through his commandments, you get life, and he also shows you that he is the one that brings forth life from the womb. See that? So it's nothing we do. Yeah, we are the vessels that he used to bring forth life, right? But he does it. I mean, think about it, man. Say you and your wife been together 5 years. Y'all consummating all the time, every night. You know, nothing. To the point to where the man, you get to thinking you shooting blanks. You know, then the woman get to thinking that she's sterile, you know. But nah, we see that, it could be nothing that you're doing perfect. You could be perfectly healthy. He brings forth life. You see? That's how that works. That's how you can be 100, right? And bring forth. See? Let's look at this some more. Let's go to John chapter 14. John chapter 14. We dealing with a guy who kills and makes alive people. He is a man of war. He does it all. John, let's go. Where we at? John chapter 14. We almost done too, people. We only got a couple more to go. A few more to go. John chapter 14. We're going to do verse 6. John chapter 14, verse 6. And it reads, Jesus say unto them, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father, but unto me. See that? So not only does he bring forth life, he makes you alive, right? Through him. You see that? And we're going to look further or look deeper into that, what that means. With in him, he makes you alive, right? Let's go to John chapter 4. Flip back to John chapter 4, and we're going to do 10 through 14. John chapter 4, and we're going to do 10 through 14. And it reads, Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knowest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou would have asked him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that the living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? And Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. I'm sorry, verse 14. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. See that? See, this is the life that the Most High can give us. Everlasting life. See that? As long as we abide in him. Right? Let's look at this some more. 1 Corinthians. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15. And we're going to do 22 through 26. 1 Corinthians 15, 22 through 26. And it reads, For as in Adam all die, even so in Christ shall all be made alive, but every man in his own order. Christ the firstfruits, afterward they that are Christ at his coming. See that? Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of God, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and authority and power. For he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. You see that? The last enemy that's going to be destroyed is death. So if he's going to destroy death, then that tells you that he has the power to give you everlasting life. Right? He kills and makes alive, people. He kills and makes alive. We can't get around it. Let's go. Romans chapter 6. Flip back to Romans chapter 6. And we're going to read Romans chapter 6. We're going to do 11 through 16. Romans chapter 6. And we're going to do 11 through 16. All right. Likewise, reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin. Oh, okay. So this is what he means by making us alive. Coming out of sin, because you're dead when you're in sin. You're dead when you're not following the commandments of the Most High. You're dead, right? But alive unto God through Christ Jesus our Lord. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye would obey in the lust thereof. Neither yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. For sin shall not have dominion over you. For ye are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or obedience unto righteousness, or obedience unto what? Everlasting life. Obedience. This is how we get life through the Messiah, by being obedient to him. Remember, it said in Psalms, he who keep my commandments and live, right? Keep my word as the apple of your eye. Meditate on it day and night. This is how you're going to live. All right, let's go. Ephesians chapter 2. Ephesians chapter 2. Ephesians chapter 2. And we're going to do 1 through 5. Ephesians chapter 2, 1 through 5. And it reads, and he hath quickened who were dead in trespass and sin. See that? He hath quickened you who were trespassed and dead in trespass and sin. See that? Where in the time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. See that? Disobedience brings forth death. Obedience brings forth life. He does kill and make alive, people. Verse 3. Among whom also we shall have our, verse 3. Among whom also we all had our conversations in time past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature of the children of wrath, even as others. But God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even we were dead in sin, hath quickened us together with Christ. By grace ye are saved. See that? By his grace, meaning he could have just knocked us all on off, right? But by his grace, right, he allowed his son to come down here and deal with us to get us back on track. You see what I'm saying? He allowed his son to be a mercy seat, right? He allowed his son to be that vine, right, to give us the oil, right, that brings forth everlasting life. This word of God. Let's look at one more. First Samuel chapter 2. First Samuel chapter 2. And we're going to do 6 through 8. First Samuel chapter 2. Verses 6 through 8. And this is a prayer that Samuel's mother prayed, right? And she said some things in this prayer that gave reference to the Most High, just like all the other prophets, right? But let's look at this. First Samuel chapter 2, and we're going to do 6 through 8, and it reads. This is what she says in her prayer, right? The Lord killeth and maketh alive. Now, where did she get that, right? She got that back in Deuteronomy 32, 39. Remember we read that. Deuteronomy 32, 39. He told you, right? And she's just prophesying, right? The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the ground. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. See that? He maketh poor and make rich, right? Not the job. The job didn't get you the money, man. It was the Most High putting it on the heart of the employer to hire you. See that? It wasn't the number that you played. It was the grace of the Most High, right? This felt like you needed this at the time. Now, what you do with it, right, is on you. We need to understand, right, when he's working in our favor. You see? Because everything that happens to us is of him, not you, right? You didn't pick them numbers. You know what I'm saying? You didn't pick that ticket when you scratched it off and boom. You see? Nah, man. You didn't go to that dealership and your persuasive speech didn't get you that car. Nah, man. The Most High put it on the heart of that dealership, right, to get you that car. You see? Everything that happens to us, man, it's because of him. He kills and makes alive. Let me read that verse 7 again. We at 1 Samuel chapter 2. We're going to read verse 7 again. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raises up the poor out of the dust and lift up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. The pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. You see that? The pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world, not the world, the globe that we see. No, he has set Israel upon these pillars. Meaning that whatever happens, he calls the shots, man. Right? Whatever happens to Israel, whatever happens to Gentiles, right? He calls the shots, man. Right? You got turmoil in your house. Instead of saying, Satan, get out of my house. I rebuke you, Satan. You need to be going to the Most High, asking him, what have I done? Forgive me for I have sinned. Show me the error of my ways. Right? Because you can say, Satan, I rebuke you, get out of my house all day long. But he's on an assignment. See that? Who we gonna listen to? You or the Most High? Nah, man. So yeah, when you got drama in your house, in your life, you might want to go to the Most High first and ask for forgiveness and ask him to chastise you and show you, right, where you went off. All right, that's the lesson. I kill, I make alive, man of war. I hope folks edified. I hope we got some understanding of the God that we're dealing with. All praise, all honor, and all glory to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Again, I want to give him thanks for allowing me to come before the people. I pray that he keeps me humble and hungry for his word so that I can help, till the earth, and do his work, man. I want to give a shout out to all the Hebrew Israelites out there that is trying to walk this walk, man, trying to do this thing, man, trying to get into the kingdom. I pray peace, strength, and comfort. I pray the Most High bless your hands. I pray the Most High bless your household. I want to give a shout out to all my Naptown brews up here, putting in the work. May the Most High strengthen your hand. May the Most High strengthen your household. To my Tupelo, Mississippi brews, peace and love. Haven't seen y'all in a minute, man. Can't wait to fellowship again, man. To my Memphis brews. I can't wait to see y'all again, man. Can't wait to fellowship again, man. I thank y'all, man, for allowing me to come on y'all platform and put in work because the Lord knows I need it, man. I know I'm a sinner. I am nothing but filthy rags, man. So I appreciate the opportunity that the Order of Melchizedek Memphis has given me to do the work, man. And not only me, I thank them for accepting my family, man, my whole house, man. I thank them for accepting us, man. And again, man, shalom to all the Hebrew Israelites, man. Conscious or whether you know it or not. Peace and love, and may the Most High bless you, man, and be with you. Shalom.